In today's video, we're going to be talking about how the spot price of the precious metals today are falling even more than they fell yesterday. And we're also going to be talking about why the government might be about to shut down. And I'm also going to be going live in the VIP club tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have a giveaway going on that ends on October 1st. You have 1 day left to enter. Link in the description. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about how the spot price of silver has now fallen into the $21 an ounce range, premiums excluded, of course. Gold is down as well, but I also had to talk about the government possibly on the brink of a shutdown and what this could mean moving forward. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Got the brand new Lone Wolf collection out now, as well as the Consistency is Key collection also out now. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. But today is Wednesday, September 29th, 2021. I'm going to be talking about the spot price of both silver and gold today, but of course, we have to talk about the government shutdown first, and by the time the video drops, the spot price is going to be different from when I'm filming it anyway, so head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. So today is obviously September 29th, which means today is the day we're going to learn whether or not our politicians can be productive enough to extend the government budget to prevent a government shutdown. A lot of the information is going to be coming out today, and remember, 3 things need to happen. Number 1, you need to extend the government budget to obviously prevent a government shutdown. 2, got to raise the debt ceiling, otherwise we're going to default on payments. And 3, you need to close the infrastructure deal. It's currently sitting at a $3.5 trillion deal, but it's likely to get negotiated down a little bit. But today, the main concern is going to be extending the budget to prevent a government shutdown, which will buy the government about 3 weeks to figure out this debt ceiling crisis. We have until, I believe, October 18th to make that happen. And remember, if we don't, we're going to default on payments, which essentially means the country has gone bankrupt from such heavy spending. But also, we need to figure out the infrastructure deal. Pelosi says she originally wanted a $6 trillion deal, but right now it's a $3.5 trillion deal, with a strong likelihood that it'll be negotiated down a little bit, maybe something around the $2.9 trillion range. But regardless, the focal point today is whether or not the budget will be extended to prevent the government from shutting down. A lot of information is coming out today, so please keep a close eye on everything that's happening. A shutdown isn't good for anyone on either side of the fence, so it wouldn't be all that surprising if Democrats and Republicans kind of came together on this one just to keep things running. But at the same time, Democrats technically can make it happen on their own, and they might need to because they have far more power right now. And because of this, Republicans don't have much leverage, so they've pretty much been saying, nope, you're on your own, you figure it out, because after all, extending the government budget would buy them more time to raise the debt ceiling, which A, Republicans don't even want to happen in the first place. Republicans are basically saying, we don't need to raise the debt ceiling, we need to spend less. And obviously B, if Democrats fail to raise the debt ceiling and we end up defaulting on payments, it'll give Republicans tons of leverage in 2022. And by the way, just in case you think that a government shutdown or failing to raise the debt ceiling or anything going on right now isn't going to affect you or won't affect you in any way, shape, or form, you might want to think again, because if we default on payments, do you know what those payments are? For example, Social Security payments, veterans benefits, tons of other things, not to mention it would almost absolutely guarantee that we would go into a much deeper recession, massive market downturns, and in conclusion, this is a mess, as it's always been, and as it always will be. Moving on to silver and gold. Spot price of silver, as I'm filming the video, is $21.49. It's down over 4%. It's down 4.23% as I'm filming the video. Down 95 cents. It's nice to see silver back in the $21 an ounce range, premiums excluded. And the spot price of gold is $1730.90, down only a measly 0.17%, down a measly $2.90. And the gold to silver ratio, look at that right there. It's in the 77 to 80 to 1 range right now. I've been talking about this for several weeks, maybe even several months at this point. I've been really integrating the gold to silver ratio on a day-to-day basis for God knows how long at this point. And it's pretty interesting that we've been able to literally watch it climb. I remember when I really started talking about it, it was in the low 60s, maybe like 63, 64 to 1, somewhere around there. I remember it going into the mid 60s, 65, 66 was, at the time, somewhat of a big deal, at least it was to me. And then it started moving its way up to the high 60s, 68, 69 to 1. Then I remember it going into the 70s. I thought that was pretty crazy. Then it went to 75. I thought that was even crazier. And here we are today, first time in quite a while that we've actually seen the gold to silver ratio go to 80 to 1. So silver and gold, they're moving. And they seem to be moving in opposite directions, at least for the time being. But again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video, what the current spot price and the gold to silver ratio is for you. I'm always curious. But even though gold isn't really on too much of a decline, at least today or really even this week, silver down over 4%. Makes me want to smack myself in the face a little bit because I just pre-ordered some silver a couple of days ago, and I also just picked up some silver from the local coin shop, and I have some silver off of eBay coming my way. But as I always say, buying the dip is something that everybody wants to do, everybody enjoys doing, everybody likes to do it, but it's important to remember when silver is down only a measly 95 cents, which by the way, is pretty significant for silver to be up or down 95 cents. That's a pretty big move, but it's not that much in the grand scheme of things, and it's really only going to affect you if you're picking up silver in massive, massive, massive amounts. For example, someone like me who's only picking up maybe 5-10 ounces of silver at a time, 95 cents off the spot price when premiums are still there isn't really going to make or break anything at all in comparison to the person who's maybe picking up 100 or 1,000 troy ounces at a time. Yeah, a 95 cent per troy ounce difference would absolutely make a bit of a difference. So just something to keep in mind. It's not something to get all infuriated about. I know a bunch of people probably just picked up a whole bunch of silver when the spot price was $22.50 and now it's essentially $21.50. It's barely a difference, and it's only going to affect you if you're picking up incredible amounts of silver. So don't even worry about that. But I wanted to talk about this today because there's something that I like to do. There's a method that I've been going by for the last couple of years. And early on when I first got started stacking, that was really the first thing that I did in terms of finance. Because back then I wasn't building my credit. Back then, I wasn't investing. Back then, I wasn't building brands or small businesses. I wasn't doing anything like that. But at the time, silver was like kind of my first thing. It's kind of what got the ball rolling for me. Even though I was always a saver to begin with, I was never reckless with my cash. I never burnt through currency or anything like that. I just didn't really have a vehicle to get me from point A to point B. And I think that's kind of what silver was, because it woke me up to the fact that I can take matters into my own hands when it comes to finances, or at least a little bit more so than if I were to just sit there putting my life savings into a savings account with that 0.0001% interest. I would rather put my cash into silver with the possibility of depreciation just for the sake of having a chance at appreciation. Rather than pretty much a guaranteed 0.0001% interest rate, screw that. I'd rather put it into silver. I believe it stands a far better chance. But I wanted to talk about this today because when I had first gotten started stacking silver, I wasn't familiar with any of the markets. I wasn't involved in real estate, and I'm still not. I've never been involved in real estate. I wasn't involved in the stock market at the time. I had just set foot in the precious metals market, and I made a rookie mistake time and time again, which was trying to time the market. Now, I never sat there for weeks or months on end waiting for spot price to do anything specific, but I can remember many times where I could have driven on over to the coin shop, or I could have placed an order online when spot price was whatever it was at the time. And I remember saying to myself, hey, you know what? I have a feeling it's going to be lower tomorrow morning. I'm going to wait until tomorrow to place my order. Just waiting for spot price to come down another 25 cents or something like that. Again, nothing of significance. What is an extra quarter per troy ounce going to do to me? Who cares? But at the time, I wasn't viewing it like that. At the time, I wanted to see if spot price would come down a little bit. Maybe I wanted it to go into the $16 range or the $15 range, because that's what spot price was back then. 15, 16, 17, 18 bucks. The good old days. And sure enough, I would wake up the next morning and spot price was higher than it was the night before. So I kind of learned my lesson on that. Again, only dealing with pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters per troy ounce of a difference. Literally couldn't make a bit of a difference either way. I just wanted to see if I can get it for a little bit cheaper. I don't know. That was just my way of timing the market, I guess. I didn't know any better. I didn't realize back then that time in the market beats timing the market, because guess what? I had no time in the market. I was brand new. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no time in the market. I had no skin in the game. And I've come to realize over the years, actually I came to realize early on, and I've been going by this method for the last couple of years, which is not worrying about buying low and selling high, because number one, I'm not interested in selling anyway, so what's the point in buying low and selling high if you're not going to sell at all? So rather than the buy low, sell high mentality, I go by the buy now, sell never mentality, buying in consistently regardless of what spot price is doing, as long as I consider it to be under or fair valued. If silver ever got to the point where, in my opinion, it was overvalued, which I think it's so far away from reaching that point, in my opinion, at this time. But if it ever got to the point where I considered the spot price of silver, or should I say the stack price of silver, spot price with the premium on top of that, if I ever got to the point where I considered that to be overvalued, then yeah, I'd scale back. I'd take my foot off the gas. I'd take a step back and reevaluate what I'm doing and take a look around and see, okay, what's the next asset class? What is the next undervalued asset that I should be focusing on? That's what I would do at that point. But until then, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep stacking consistently every month, preferably a little bit more frequently, but I make sure to pick up a handful of 90% every month, or every 2 weeks when I get my paycheck. If possible, every week, although I really can't do that. Every 2 weeks I try to do, regardless of what spot price is doing. See, the only thing I wait for is my direct deposit to hit. And by stacking consistently, it'll all level out. Sometimes I'll happen to get paid on a red day. Sometimes I'll get paid on a green day. It doesn't matter. It all evens out. It all averages out. It all levels out. So rather than buy low, sell high, I go by buy now, sell never, because that makes more sense to me. Buy now, sell never, and buy a little bit more on the dip if you can. That's what I like to do. Rather than trying to time the market, I'll just do my thing. My method of stacking at this point has become almost automated. I explained in yesterday's video. I don't even have to think about it anymore. It's just routine for me. I don't even pay attention. Get the paycheck, stop by the coin shop on the way home, boom, come home with a handful or another bag of silver. 90% silver Washington quarters. These are just my go-to. I don't think about it anymore. There's really no thought that goes into it. I stop by, I pick up a small bag or a handful or whatever of Washington quarters. I go home, and that's it. It's not anything that requires planning. It's not anything that requires strategizing. It's not anything that requires anything at all. At this point, it's automated. For me, anyway. And maybe keep a little bit of cash on the sidelines. That way, during days like today, where silver takes a 4.23% hit, maybe you can pick up a little bit of extra silver. Maybe pick up an extra bag of Washington quarters or an extra silver bar or two. Doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Just because silver goes down over 4% in a day doesn't mean you need to sell your car and put all that cash into silver. No, but if you have an extra $25, $50, $100 that you're keeping on the sidelines reserved for the dip, that might be your opportunity. See, that's the way I've been stacking for the last couple of years, more specifically the last year and a half to 2 years, ever since everything really came crashing down March of 2020. Coming up on 2 years now. What are we at, a year and 9 months or something like that? Can't believe it's been that long now that I think about it. But regardless, that's my method of stacking silver. I no longer have to think about it. I no longer have to do any planning. I no longer have to worry about anything. I no longer have to compulsively check the chart and spot price a million times a day. Of course, I check every day anyway, out of curiosity. Some people might learn what the spot price is from my videos, because I mention it in every single video now. But I'm not constantly checking Kitco like I was early on. See, when I first got started, spot price was like 17 and change. Like 1702 or something like that. First time I picked up silver, that's what the spot price was. I picked up some more silver a week or so later. I think silver had gone down to maybe the 1690s, aka barely a difference. What did it do? Go down 5 cents or so? No difference. Third time around it was a little bit lower, maybe 1675. Time after that I was like, well, last time I got it, spot price was 1675. Right now it's 1657, let's just say. I'm going to wait for it to go below 1650. Wake up the next morning and it's 1675 again. Point being is that you never know what silver is going to do. You never know what gold is going to do. You never know what the stock market is going to do. You never know what anything is going to do. And anybody who tries to tell you that this is going to happen by a very specific date is either delusional or they're just lying. Nobody knows. We can guess. We can make predictions. We might get it right from time to time. But if we do get it right, it's 100% a coincidence. Not because we are false prophets or because we're psychics or we have a crystal ball or anything like that. No, some people do get it right. Not on purpose, though. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Of course, early on in the video, talking about the government shutdown, do you think that's going to happen, or do you think we're going to extend the budget? And then, of course, when it comes to the silver and the gold, are you planning on buying the dip today on the precious metals? And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller and easier to manage. I'm also going to be going live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm posting exclusive VIP-only adventure vlogs. I also do giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shoutouts, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button like a Karen hits a bus window. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. A bunch of brand new videos over there. Go check them out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 3,000 subscribers. We just hit 2,000, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products. T-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations. And of course, the brand new DYDSS Lone Wolf t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, coffee mug, and long sleeve tee, available in 4 different colors, and a portion of the proceeds are going towards the International Wolf Center. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again. Everything shared in today's video, what are your thoughts? When it comes to potentially extending the government budget, when it comes to potentially being on the brink of a government shutdown, you think it's going to happen? Think we're going to be all right? You think we're going to keep the ball rolling? Or do you think things are going to come to an abrupt halt? And who knows what that's going to lead to? Maybe that's going to interfere with raising the debt ceiling. And if we fail to raise the debt ceiling, then we're going to really have no choice. We're going to default on payments. And if we default on payments, not a good sign. And then, of course, when it comes to the silver and the gold, do you plan on buying the dip? Did you have a little bit of cash on the sidelines ready for this to happen? Silver's down over 4%. Gold's down too, barely, 0.1%. But silver down 4.23%. Will you be buying the dip? Will you be capitalizing on this opportunity? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.